How many people usually come?
There'll be people, more people watching than are on the panel, but then some people join us. And I think we'll just keep it an informed, just discussion and talk about real things. And we've all been through loss. So
How many people usually?
now I think somebody's going to have to, Rosemary, just watch your YouTube because I think it might be, you might have to mute your volume on, if it's John there, to mute your YouTube.
John, mute the YouTube.
I don't know, I just heard it. I don't know if it was yours. Maybe it isn't. I don't hear it now.
I did have my phone turned up.
Oh, it might have been Bonnie. It's all good, I think. Okay, somebody else is here.
Let's see. Did you get? I'll let them in. It's different on ours, but I figured it out.
Hi, who's there?
Hi there, this is Tammy, but it's
Oh, T Prang. Hi, Tammy.
Hi,
not
Tammy.
there.
Hi, Tammy.
It doesn't give me an option to say something about video.
Oh, to turn on your video?
Yeah.
I think you have to do it. Do you see the little icon on the bottom where it says start or stop video?
No, I'm in Slack and it says home DMs mentions you.
You're not on there.
Oh, wait, did you call? Wait, it's through Slack?
I called through Houston and I did the meeting and passcode. I think I had a call in I did it wrong last time too.
Do you want to try to call in again?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to put our tags in here. We should.
You're gonna have to use the Zoom link.
Who? Oh, Carolyn. John said that Tammy has to use the Zoom link to
Yeah,
get on.
she's been on before, so I'm surprised she doesn't. She's been on with video before, so hopefully she'll get it right this time.
Is she using the Zoom link?
Yeah, but she said, I don't know, she used it, but let's see if it happens this time.
I think she called in.
Yeah, I know.
John said he thinks she called in.
Yeah, probably. She might have had a moment. She'll get it. Let's see. Are you showing us live, Bonnie? Because I can't get to I'm trying to get to the video. Okay, yeah, that must be her again. Content.
We have 67 people watching so far.
Okay. All right. Hi, guys. I'm just changing a tag in here so that we can be found. But on panel, we have Rosemary D'Alessandro. Well, she's on the top for me, top left. And then myself. And then we have Bonnie. Bonnie, you have to scoot over a little bit because we only have half of your face. So Bonnie, and that's Debbie Two Scooter's daughter. And there you might recognize Two Scooter next to Bonnie on the bottom there. And then Tammy's coming in. Let me see what letter. I think this is Tammy who's coming in. Tammy T. Prang. Let's see. And those of you that are in the grief support group will want to come on. The number is in there. Tammy? We got two people. How do we have? Wait, I'm lost, Scooter. Do we have somebody else that's waiting?
This person?
Yeah. They're in here.
Okay, we have iPhone. I don't know what that is. We'll see what that is.
They need to start.
Hi guys, I'm just changing a tag in here so that we can be found. But okay, on panel we have Rosemary D'Alessandro. Well, she's on the top for me, top left. Who came in? Myself, and then we have Bonnie. Bonnie, you have to scoot over a little bit because we only have half of your face. Hi, who's on the iPhone? So,
Sandy.
Bonnie, oh, Sandra. How? Okay, can you just mute your YouTube, or because it's causing a feedback. Just mute your YouTube and listen through the however you called in on Zoom.
Okay.
Okay. Good to have you with us. Okay, so we have Sandra, and then I think that's Tammy on the other telephone. And so for those of you that are just joining, we got Rosemary D'Alessandro, myself, Bonnie, Debbie, Two Scooter, then Sandra Rusak, and Tammy T. Prang should be in the next one. Tammy, is that you? I don't think. The person with the icon is the telephone. Is that Sandra? You don't have to mute yourself, just your YouTube.
Yeah. Because we won't be able to hear
Yeah,
you.
because we can't hear you. You hear how you hear us in the back?
Yes.
Yeah, so you just want to mute that.
Okay.
But you don't mute yourself because we will never hear you. Okay, I think you got it now. Good.
Tammy?
Can you hear us, Sandra?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right.
John, you make it more light, John? More.
We're just getting set up here, so
Did you get Tammy? Carolyn, is Tammy there?
Tammy is there, but I don't know if she can hear us. Tammy?
What are you doing with the light? I think it's too much. Yeah, could you put the light back further back?
I'm surprised Tammy's having trouble because she's normally on a lot.
Why am I saying that?
Yeah, move the table a little closer.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm just going to get to the live chat here so I can see who's
Did you
here.
put this on this feet over there? John? My feet.
Okay, there's 151 people now right here. So there should be more coming in. But what this is about, we're going to just talk about, we're all in different stages of loss. Tammy's lost a newborn. I don't know. I wish Tammy could hear us. I don't know how.
Oh, Tammy, where are you?
She's, we can't hear her yet. Well,
John, do you want Carolyn, do you want
she
John
is.
to help you?
here she is. Here she is. Let's see if
She
she
is?
comes on this time. There she is. There she is. Tammy, is the other one you
Hi,
hear
Tammy. Hi.
over here? This number with 381? Oh, if it is, maybe we can.
I wrote that one.
Tammy,
I doing.
we can't hear you. Tammy. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
I can't.
Tam, did you call in first on an iPhone?
No, the iPhone is Sandra.
Oh, that's Sandra. Okay.
Okay, and the I don't know who the 361 is. That you too, Tammy? 361 last three numbers. Is that you? But we can't hear. How come we can't? Now we can see Tammy and we can't hear her.
We can't hear you, Tammy.
Tammy, no, here.
We can't hear you.
No, hear you. No, hear you.
Oh my goodness. This is, do we need where's your markers?
Tammy.
What is going on?
She's normally on all the time. This is so funny that she's having problems.
Tammy, what are you doing tonight, woman?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. And she's not on mute either. It's just that we can't hear her.
Yeah, it has to be stressful for her. And we're laughing. Come on.
All this. She always knows what to do.
Yeah, I'm surprised. And I don't know who the other number is, but I thought that was her from before. Is anyone here from on the other telephone number there? Anybody here, Scooter? What is your daughter's name? Her name is Bonnie.
Okay. Yeah, my daughter, Bonnie.
Or burnt hot dog.
So, Tammy, it has an X by yours.
John,
Little red X.
John,
Tammy.
help me with the air more.
Okay, so while we're, hopefully Tammy will get in here.
Did I?
In both places.
Oh, there's Tammy. You just need to fix your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay, good.
Bring it a little bit forward more than two.
So
But I'm not on video, is that correct?
you are on video.
I can't see anybody.
Switch to gallery view.
Here, put it on here.
How weird.
Here, this is a better height.
Rosemary has like a, what is that? A static?
Yeah, there's a little static, Rosemary. I don't know if it's your mic or.
We're trying to put the fan on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it okay, John? Just bring the
Yes,
chair.
ma'am.
Bring the chair forward, please.
Sure.
No, forward this way.
The microphone's gonna pick it up.
Microphone.
Abby,
Yes.
Yeah, but I need
Can you
to.
bring my computer in, please?
Oh, I don't know if it could be. I don't know who that is. I think it's Tammy. Let me ask her. Tammy, was that you on the other number? That was here. It had
2361?
381 on. Is it 381? I thought it was. What the last three were 381, or is that? I don't know.
I'm 2361.
Oh, it's 2361. Maybe that's what it was. It's gone now. Okay, so you're all good.
It was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was. Okay, so that's.
But I
yeah.
can't hear y'all. It sounds like you're in a tunnel, so I'm going to try my computer.
Okay. All right. Try your computer. So let me just, for those of you that just got here,
Please.
we'll just, I'm just
Look
going
at
to
my
mute you
phone
for a
and see
minute,
if you can
Tam.
get-
Hopefully she's going to know while she's fixing this.
You guys, we're not looking very professional right now.
Okay. So I just muted you for a minute, Tammy, while you get set up there. I just want to say to the chat, okay, this is
them very good.
the grief panel, and up on top, you should see on YouTube is Rosemary D'Alessandro. I'm in the middle there. Then we have Bonnie and Two Scooter Debbie. On the bottom we have Tammy T. Praying, and on the iPhone we have Sandra Rusak. We're just going to talk about, we're all going through different stages of loss. Some of us have had a loss years ago. Some of us have had a loss a few years ago. Some of that, or more recently. And just about the holidays and kind of what we do to get through them. Where do we find the joy after losing a child or grandchildren and children and grandchildren? And just kind of what do we do and just help each other maybe with some of the feelings that we might have and things, and just have a conversation. That's all. And then maybe take some questions, and more people will come on the panel, and we'll just wing it. And, just as if we're having coffee, that's all. It's not going to be anything crazy. So just to introduce, why don't we just go around real quick and just introduce yourselves to the panel and
Okay.
how long ago,
I'm on the top in the corner.
Yes,
Right.
you go first, Rosemary.
Yeah, take it clockwise. My name is Rosemary D'Alessandro. I'm from Hillsdale, New Jersey. And I remember the beginning, when it first started, and that was a very long time ago. That was in 1973. So I'm in a much different place now, but I still can remember, the very beginning. So I can share, different things that helped, that I hope that can help you. My daughter was little Joan, and she was 7 years old. She was delivering the cookies to my neighbor across the street. He was a high school teacher, and it was the last 2 boxes of cookies. She and the sister only had about 12 boxes of cookies that they got orders for, because they were only supposed to go, and they did, only a 4-block radius. And at that time, that was different to think that way, because children were going all over the neighborhood the whole day, like 10 hours, like just to get their little award. So Joan she was going with her sister to deliver the cookies. And what happened was that the neighbor wasn't home. So her sister had gone to play softball. She saw him come into the driveway. So she came and took the box. Was it like carrying case, a Girl Scout carrying case? Took the 2 boxes of cookies and said, "I'll be right back." So, and then by the time, like, she was being sexually molested, she was raped, and she was being murdered like right away, because he said he knew how to entice her, because she knew not to go into people's houses, because he was a teacher. He knew how to lure her. So it was something that in 20 minutes, she came from, here she was, this little person, and I'm the last one to say goodbye to her. And then in 20 minutes, she's on her way to be brought to what I believe in my faith, to heaven with lots of angels. And that is like mind-boggling sometimes to think of. So anyway, I will share with you as we go along. And I definitely, am very compassionate about everybody else's story and what they're going through. And I really, could feel for each of you a lot,
Okay.
So I hope I could support you.
Thanks, Rosemary. And Bonnie, do you want to just talk about? You don't have to go into that much detail. Just you can give how much time it's been or whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay. I'll just go normally at the beginning here. I'm Bonnie, also known as Burnt Hot Dog on here, I guess. I lost my youngest child. It was actually just 3 years ago on December 1st. She was 11. Her name was Amelia. And it was unexpected. And I can go into it more later so everybody else can introduce themselves.
And of course, my granddaughter, Amelia. And then I lost my grandson, Jared. That has been since 2003. He drowned in the backyard pool. He was 3 years old.
Thanks, guys. Tammy, you want to?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tammy Prangle. I lost my full-term son, Ian Patrick, June 17th, 1996. Went to the hospital. My water broke and I was supposed to be inducted the next day. But he was still, after emergency C-section, he never took a breath. So he was stillborn. So since it's been a while, I will chirp in throughout it, like Rosemary, and see if I can help any of y'all through the holidays, because those first several years are very, very tough to get through.
Okay, thanks. And Sandra, do you want to?
Hi, ladies. I just want to say I'm sorry about your losses, and I pray that you find God in your deepest, darkest moments, because He's my best friend, and He's never left my side. I lost my beautiful daughter, all of my grandchildren, my 2 brothers, my aunt and my uncle in 11 months. And I know they're in God's kingdom. I don't even, worry about that. No more death for them and no more evil, and they're safe. So I can only pray to God that you all find peace. Every day's a challenge for us all, and the evil people just keep going, and I really feel sorry for them attacking my family on a every day, every minute basis. I pray that they find peace with themselves so they can move forward with their life. And I thank you, Carolyn, for letting me come on here tonight. And Rosemary, God bless you, sweetheart.
Sandra, and speaking to you about 2 weeks ago, it was because Sandra was telling me that Joan was being welcomed by the angels, and I always used to think was the Blessed Mother, and now it makes sense to me, because the angels, there's so many of them, and they all, they were all there. Probably they were saying, "No, I'm going to take her. No, I'm going to take her." And then Sandra said that Jesus was there. And it made me understand something, even after all these years, Sandra, that it made me understand how here it was, she was on earth, right? Like that was about 5 to 3 on Holy Thursday, says goodbye to me. And then in about 20 minutes, she's with all the angels and with Jesus, and her body isn't there anymore. She doesn't have that little shirt on, a little short sleeve turquoise shirt, and the little sneakers. she's like, she's almost like a light. She's like a light. But Sandra was telling me that's what she was sensing, like she was a light. And that part, just think of it. And this is what happens, right? With whatever you believe in heaven, or you believe something, in a spiritual way, or you believe in a good place, or like a good way of thinking. Whatever happens, it's like different. That what I saw was that here is a body. We have a body, and she has this little body, and it wasn't there anymore. And that's what I always thought, and that's what we see. We see this body, and it made me understand a lot about the not being that body. Being like such a light that's so bright, so bright, so beautiful, so joyful, and that's some people I call it the soul. That's like the inner core of the person. That's really the basic part of a person. So that was good. That was really great, Sandra. That was really great. And and Sandra, with those calls those emails that you keep on getting, I mean, that must be so wearing for you. So wearing,
Well, remember the story I told you about Holy Mother Mary in my dream?
Yes.
Well, that gets me through every day. And I'm honored for her to have come to my dream. So, I know the difference between good, bad, and evil. My parents raised a really good daughter, and I, in change, raised my children to be like me, as my mom raised me. So our morals and respect is very high, and we treat everyone as we want to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
So that just keeps me going on in my faith, and you have to be a strong woman to get through these things.
And people that have faith or believe in something that keeps them strong, because I know my faith kept me strong. I always used to say, because I never went counseling or anything, and at that time it wasn't like it is today. You see,
Yeah.
so I always said God was my psychiatrist, and
Yes.
He really was. He was my psychiatrist. So it really, I just hope that each of you that are going through, the sadness, and so deep and so strong and so hard, and it just makes you like, want to cry a lot. I hope that you have something that if it isn't faith, something that makes you strong. It could be nature, the beauty of nature, which is amazing. It
Yes.
could be something else that's, the religion you believe in, because that's what I pray for each of you. Okay, that you have that. Number one. And then number two, that you have people that are interested in listening to you.
Well, you
And
can only
yeah.
save people in the world that want to be saved. The people that have too much darkness, you just got to pray hard for them, and if they never see the light, then that's between them and God. You know what I mean? You got to save the people you can, and that's what I do.
I think that first, well, this way I feel. You got to remember the people that are innocent and have gone through the pain, and they're trying to be good people. Those people really need a lot of prayers. As far as the other people that, like, they have free wills and they have choices and they make these choices.
That's
Okay?
right. That's right.
And therefore, you cannot change them. But what you could do is say prayers for them. But you always want to remember those people that are really going through the pain, that are trying so hard. And those are the ones that are making the good choices, that are trying to help other people, thinking of society. So you don't want to waste your energy on the others that are making those choices, but yet you want to pray for each person, because each person, and you pray differently for each. I know I pray differently for each person. Is like the people that are, you want to pray for because each person, the way I was raised is that you made, to the liking of God, and God has made all the people in his image, and God would like all the people to be his friends and to choose him, you see. So that's what I pray for. It's almost like thinking about God, that he has that person too. Yeah. And and you were saying, Bonnie, your daughter was 11, right?
Yes.
And so how many years ago, you said?
It was 3 years ago, December 1st.
Yeah, so 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
3 years is still is still it's still hard. Still hard. Yeah, And then Carolyn, just this year, I mean, that's really,
Yeah,
this is her
7 months. Yeah, 7
her
months.
first Christmas. This is her first Christmas.
Yeah. And so what I said, one of the things that I'm doing is, I've been looking, like, since the Christmas ornaments came out in the stores, but anytime I saw an ornament that I liked, either an angel or an angel wings, or it could have been they had this fishing pole thing because he loved to fish, ornaments that I thought fit him, or and I would get, a joy out of buying those and planting a tree just for him with those ornaments on it, and decorating where I have his urn. So that helped me get through, like the holidays. We're not through them, but I mean, in anticipation, I was still able to have joy in doing that for him. So that helped. So I don't know, and I know Tammy has you have an angel tree, right, Tammy? A tree for your son?
I have collected little angels over the years. He was dark haired, so this year at an estate sale, one street up, I found an angel topper with the angels holding a little brown haired angel. So that's on top of this tree.
Nice. And that brings you joy to do that tree for him?
Absolutely.
Yeah. See.
I did a stocking. I mean, he never came home, but that first, I lost him in June, and that December, he had a stocking with his name on it up on the mantle with our son that was 2 at the time.
So how many angels do you have on the tree?
Well, oh gosh, probably 100. I could take you guys in there and show you.
A lot. Oh, so you put a lot.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not like
Her house is a winter wonderland. You should see how she decorates.
Yeah.
Lots of.
Definitely.
Do you live in the cold climate?
No, I was born and raised in Illinois, but we came down here in 81. So we're down here in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
It snows about once every 20 so years. Enough to make a snow about that big.
Wow. Yeah.
Bonnie,
And
do
you have one other child?
I have a son that's older. He was 2 when we lost Ian, and then a year, 1 month, and 1 day that we lost Ian, I had my rainbow baby, Abby, and she's here this weekend. She's 23, and she had her wisdom teeth taken out, so I'm getting to be her nurse.
The wisdom teeth.
Wisdom teeth?
Yeah.
So a year later? Well, that was a gift, right?
Yeah. We just got off the golf cart. We went and looked at lights and stuff.
That's nice.
Nice.
Bonnie, do you do anything special that helps you through?
Well, that first year after Amelia passed away, that Christmas was just like 3 weeks or so after She passed. I was still, pretty numb and stuff, but Mark and I had actually planned a big family trip to take all of the kids down to Disney World and Universal Studios, and we were going to surprise them with that on Christmas Day that year. And, then Amelia died, and we just ended up telling Jack and Maddie. I do have 2 older kids. Actually, today is my oldest, Jack. It's his 19th birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Cakes. And then our daughter Maddie, she's 17. But we, after told them, and telling them, hey, look, we booked this trip and stuff. Do you guys still want to go? And we did end up going. We felt kind of weird about it, but being like probably the best thing at that time that we could have done, because it got us out of here, out of the house, and stuff. Mom, was that when you guys didn't come then?
Yeah, Dave and I went.
Oh, yeah, you went down there.
Yeah.
It's so hard to remember because at that time,
Right, it's foggy.
With you guys in that house?
Yeah, we were at the beach house. That's right. Yeah, they did come down. And, we did that first year. Then the second year, last year, I just know Amelia, she had such a love for the holidays like I do. She would always help me on Thanksgiving, especially cook all the food. I still have her little apron in the drawer, with my aprons, because she was always the one that was with me cooking, getting everything ready and stuff. And last year it just kind of hit me that, I have to try to do the same things that she did when she was still here with us, because she doesn't want me sitting around, being sad. Even though I am sad, I'm still just moving on, trying to I decorated the house all out this year. I went crazy. I even bought a bunch of new stuff because I was like, this would make her happy. I know she's up there. She's at peace. She knows no sadness, and she's in the best place that she could be, actually. And I know she would just want us to be happy. So yeah, I threw myself into decorating this year, buying gifts, and just really trying to embrace the season for what it really is. And I know that, like Rosemary, and I know that, and it's my faith that's gotten me through, because if we didn't have our priests and our faith and the church to help get us through all this, I don't know that I would still be here today, and Jack and Maddie have helped me get through too. But I mean, yeah, I just remembered how much Amelia loved it, and I don't want to let her down. I just don't. So she's the reason why, I'm getting through the season, it's because of her.
I know.
Well, Bonnie, like what you're showing and telling us is that she's not really far away from you. She's there. She's there with you. I could feel her with you.
Yeah.
And so that she really is there in every single way, except with her shirt and with her pants. Yeah. So because you could tell that she's just there with you, and that's a beautiful relationship.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You were like to buy the fishing rod ornaments and things like that. Amelia, she loved the Elf on the Shelf, and we had Buddy, and she would always wait for him to come back, and he always came back the day after Thanksgiving. And she actually loved him so much that I just ended up she was cremated, and I had Buddy go with her, but I ended up finding, the world's smallest toy. They had a little Buddy, so I bought one of those, and then we have this little Buddy snow globe that I bought a couple years ago. So I have him on the counter all year. And she loved horses. So anytime I see like a little horse or something, I'll buy that, and I'll do that throughout the whole year. Just little things that I know she would have liked, unicorns, things like that. And I'll pick them up, and as just a reminder of, her. And this was her dog, Hazel. So we got, we got Hazel here.
Oh, that's Hazel. He's very black.
Is that a poodle?
She's a toy cockapoo.
Oh, Packapoo. Okay. I thought your mom said you had a Shih Tzu. You have a Shih Tzu too?
Yeah,
Oh, you
one
do?
too.
Oh, okay.
Actually got, her name's Mabel, and we got her actually 1 month after Amelia passed away. When we got back from Florida, my Aunt Shelley used to breed them.
Right. Yeah. She said, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, my husband just said, you know what, maybe we could just get some joy in the house and just get another dog. And the kids really wanted her, so we got her. And so, yeah, she's kept us entertained.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And Sandra, I know you've been doing a ton of baking, but does that help you? Is that therapeutic for you to do all that baking? Because it's
I've been like that my whole life. So I bake like 70 dozen cookies and food and all kinds of stuff. And I break it down evenly to many, many people. So I give to my neighbors and my family, and, you know, it's part of giving.
Mm-hmm.
And, so that's what I do.
But
Sandra, how many dozen did you say?
70.
70.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is.
I thought I was hearing wrong. Oh, my God. Oh, my
and sometimes if they eat them too fast, they want more, and then I have to do it again. But I stopped doing that. It's like double Christmas every year. You know, you can't do that.
Right. But
And plus you work, and and you own a hair salon, and it has
Yeah.
to be busy during the holidays.
Yes.
So when do you do it? During the night, like 2:00 in the morning?
No. I'm my own boss, so I get to do what I want.
You make it sound easy.
You got to keep yourself busy. If you slow
Yeah.
down, if you slow down, you get dirt on your shoes.
Sandra, boy, I would love to have you close. You have all these great cookie recipes. Do you have any gluten-free?
I'm going to make my daughter gluten-free cookies, and it's really a pain in the butt because it doesn't have any gluten, so it has nothing to hold, and it's really, really, really hard to do, and it's very costly. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, who you see in and out, he goes gluten-free now because it helps him with his digestion. So, he's ruling the roost. So, then we have gluten-free. So everything's gluten-free cookies, and some of them they taste like sawdust.
Yeah.
My God.
Okay.
They kind of do, but you got to add a lot of vanilla and stuff.
So, but yeah, that's crazy.
I just wanted to say something that when you were talking, like, about what was helping you there, Carolyn, and you're doing it for your first year, that's something what I did. And what you was talking about, Tammy, about with the Christmas tree, that's something like what I did too. So we were all thinking the same way. And I remember the first year it was an angel. And that angel was a ballerina angel because Joan, she was a very good ballet dancer. She was just very agile. And even though she was tall, she was a tall 7-year-old. And so we had this little white, it was so cute. I have it on the tree now. And what we did was, I remember, because Joan is like in the cemetery, and we had the first grave blanket, we just had one decoration on it, and it was that angel, that white ballerina angel. After that, don't ask me what the second and third and fourth and fifth were. I remember that first one so much. And then, so I bought two, one for the tree, and then one for the grave blanket. So that became a tradition that every year we would buy a decoration at Christmas time in memory of Joan for the tree. And then the center of the grave blanket with the bow would have a new decoration that we would buy. That's why, Bonnie, Tammy, I asked you how many angels you had, how many, and I asked you how many angels, because I thought maybe you had one for every year, And see, here's the first one, everybody. See?
I love
Look at that. Oh,
That's really
I mean,
nice.
that's old. I
Yeah,
mean,
right? Vintage.
She died, this is vintage. She died 47 years ago. Look, look at that, everybody.
I
See?
love that.
Oh, I love
And then
Yeah.
I had 2 more children. I had a miscarriage and then 2 more children after Joan died. So they always know about this story. So
Right.
they feel they were there in a way because of this little angel. And then Carolyn, that really gave me a lot of support thinking that way. And I'm so glad it's giving you that support that you're saying. Okay? I feel like our 2 hearts, you won this year, mine a long time ago, are in the same place because of the way we felt, the way we did it. And I'm gonna tell you, that was very helpful. And then you were saying about your other children, Bonnie, helping. Well, at that time I had an 8.5-year-old and 9.5-year-old.
Mhm.
And I remember we had a dollhouse, a big dollhouse. I don't even know where I had the money to get it that year. And it was for Joan and Marie.
Mhm.
So of course Joan wasn't there. So it was just given to Marie. And Marie has that dollhouse. And, they're 8.5, 9.5 years old. I mean, they have to be kids. So I wasn't going to wear it on my sleeves, even though inside, it was whoop. Because a month before that, and you went through so much with the family in 1 year, Sandra, my father died a month before that. And I was getting very close to my father, and he was very close to Joan. But he had cancer, and the cancer had come back about 2 months before Joan died. And you're saying, Sandra, you had your daughter, and then the 2 babies, and then the other baby, and then you had the 2 brothers, and then you had the other relatives, all in 1 year. Oh, Sandra,
It's been hard, but listen, girls, I want to. Someone's talking on here on typing, and I want to address this real quick. There's a Candy with a K on here typing, and her last name is Stanislaus or something like that. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Stanislaus. Well, she can't get over the loss of the death of her daughter. You're never going to get over the loss. You're never going to. But I cry every day. I cry. God knows. There's not a minute or a second I don't think of my children and my grandchildren, and we weep every day. But if you don't keep going on, and you kind of got to imagine them looking down at you from heaven and saying, I wouldn't want my mom to be like that. I wouldn't want her to cry and die inside. That would hurt them. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of reverse what you would think if you died and watch your child crying every day. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of got to reverse that and think, how would they want you to be? And it's okay to smile. It's okay to take that long walk. It's okay to live, and you'll see them again, and you get to spend eternity with them. So just know, you have to know that they're in a good place. They come and see you when they can, and prayers move heaven and earth. So to all of the ladies who have lost a loved one, a child, a parent, I'm there. I've been there, and I talk to them all the time. Just like God. Just because you don't see God doesn't mean they're not there. So I pray to God.
Sandra, you only had it 3 years ago, Sandra. Okay.
I'm hoping
it's still raw. It's still raw.
I'm hoping that it saves somebody. What I'm saying, that it saves somebody.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Can
I
you
mean,
more stories of how Shanann or Cece and Bella or Nico have come to you, or share the Blessed Mary coming to you?
Well, you're gonna have to get my book for that one.
Are you seriously doing a book?
I am. I am.
Wonderful.
Sandra, the girl that you just saw now on the chat, how long ago did the child die?
Well, she says when my daughter was murdered, that she lost all of her friends and family and stuff like that because of what had happened to her. But there's so much written in the chat here.
yeah.
There's so many comments.
So her name was Candy. Did you want to call in? You're welcome to email me and call in if you'd like to speak. Candy, you just my email. I'll put it in right now. If you want to just email me, you're welcome to come up.
And she'll send you the number.
You'll see
There's-
a night
There's a
bot
lot
will
of
put the email
There's
up.
a lot, Carolyn. There's a lot of people out here that they're writing that they have lost, their fiance, their husband, their children, and So, I'm really proud to be on this, and I wasn't going to do it, but I think my daughter nudged me to do it because, you got to give someone else a hand, and
Yeah,
so thank you, Carolyn.
I'm glad you did. I didn't think, I said I didn't think you would, but I'm really glad you did.
Thanks, sweetie. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sandra, you just go through it like 3 years ago.
Last
And-
2 years.
And what you're doing, the way you're doing it, is like a very good example. And you're going through all this suffering, and it's good that you do talk about the crying and let people know your pain. So this way, you could feel their understanding, and I hope that you feel our understanding a little bit, Sandra. So someday I'll meet you.
You will. You just, I was raised by faith, and my family were, my parents were amazing. And I have 7 brothers and sisters that I adore every one of them. And, I miss them every day. Like I said, my brothers both died, one before my daughter and my grandchildren, and one afterwards. And no doubt in my mind that they're not by her, and, just having fun and, doing the same thing we're doing here, probably cooking and hanging out and, doing things for God. So that's the way I look at it,
Mm-hmm. You make it sound easy, okay? And I know it's not easy.
Now we cry every day.
Then what you do is showing showing others that you have strength because you don't give up, and you have kindness and a good heart because you care about other people. You're not just thinking of yourself, and that's wonderful, honey. That's wonderful, Sandra.
Well, I just so you ladies know, Frank and I lost our first child to a miscarriage, and so I'm sorry for the young moms who've lost their child. It was devastating for me, and I had gotten pregnant right away with Shanann, so I just felt like I was so blessed to have her, and I don't know, I don't know what to say, and it's not easy. It's not easy, but you got to keep yourself busy. If you girls came over here and hung out with me, I'd wear you out just watching me.
I'm worn out just getting the pictures from you through there. But
if I'm not cooking, baking, working, or something, I'm always doing something.
But I thank Sandy because she gave me back faith. I really have lost a lot of faith. Yeah, I was getting a lot of signs early on, and then there was like a lull, like no signs. Well, no signs that I guess I shouldn't say there were no signs, but not as big as I wanted.
Well, remember I told you God's not going to give you a neon light.
Right. But just talking to you that night, and what you told me about Ray and all that stuff, that was just priceless for me. And I know you did something similar for Rosemarie, and she told me about it when we talked right after that, and I just think that's amazing that, you're able to see what you see. And I thank you for that, because, I still have periods where I go like, still, is he really there? So.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, for
Carolyn,
the people,
it's great that you do this group, because you're opening up a lot of doors, like just now for this Candy that's there, and then all the other people that are on the chat now that Sandra was talking about. And they're hearing this, and they know that we really care for them. And, it's like we're listening to their hearts. We can't hear everybody, like talk to each one of you, but we hear your hearts. We feel we hear your pain, and we hear your love for your children and for the loved one that died. So what Carolyn is doing, and she has this, how many, you have that every night during the week?
No, we started, this is only like our third one. So, but I plan to do one for the holidays and, because of that, and we're late doing it, but how things go, but we're trying to do them more and more, because people are going through loss, and, there's, with the virus, you can't even go out and go to a lot of those compassionate friends meetings or whatever that people do go to on a local level. I don't think they're having those in most places now. So.
Probably not.
No, they're not.
Carolyn, it's amazing that you're doing this, that you just lost your son in May around Mother's Day, and that you're doing this. And that shows something about empathy for people.
yes.
And I hope that you feel empathy for yourself too.
Yes, believe me, it helps me too. Like the whole community helps me, or I wouldn't be where I am. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
honey. Okay. You think Candy is coming on?
I don't know. I was just checking my email. I think I just got an email, so I'm going to check and see.
I told Carolyn if I find her crying too much, I was going to go there personally and visit her.
Exactly.
That is one thing that I had to learn to do. And I do go to therapy. I don't have to go as often as I did the first couple of years, but I did learn in therapy that, you do need to cry, because I started getting severe panic attacks. And, my therapist said, that's your emotions and, everything just building up inside of you, trying to make their way out. So you need to cry like 20 minutes a day and just let yourself feel it all. Just let it, all go, and I do still struggle to do that, but I do it more often, now, because it is something that when you lose your child, even 3 years later, I still am in shock that she's even gone. Like, it still to me just does not even feel real. And you do, like, you learn how to carry it with you so that you can, try to be normal, however you want to put it, but every day I always think about Amelia, and at least one time a day, I think about the day that she died, every day, but I've gotten stronger as the time has gone on to where I can say, okay, I have to look at this. Let's think about this. Let's remember what happened. If you need to cry, cry. And then I say, and then I do, and then I feel better and I can move on about my day, so it is getting a little bit easier to handle it. But that was just one thing, Sandra, that you said, that you cry every day. And I think that's something that I need to learn to do myself, just so I can, feel it more, maybe more than what I'm actually allowing myself to, I guess.
But, you don't need to cry every day either. It depends upon what you're feeling. You don't have to go out of the way to make yourself cry.
Right.
You know
I think
mean?
everybody handles it differently, and that's the biggest thing the grief counselor told me is you don't have to be accountable for anyone. So if one day you feel like screaming in the car, you go and scream in the car. If one day you feel like questioning why, you question why. If one day you feel like crying, you cry. Everybody handles it differently. So some person may want to cry every day. Some person may cry once a week. Some person may go, it's everything is so individual with grief, and there's no, right way or wrong way. It's your way.
Right.
Whatever feels right for you. That's what you do.
That's true.
And then, like, say mine was a long time ago. So sometimes, like, I have to do like different interviews with the advocate work that I do. And I go, oh, like I had to do one yesterday. And I said, I felt like when I was talking about, they wanted me to explain about Joan and make her come alive to the people that were listening. And I said, if I start crying now, I'm going to forget what I was going to say. But my crying would be like tears. I would have tears. It wouldn't be like crying, loud or something. But still, it was, crying. And then I was lucky that time that it didn't come out at that time. At that time, it really wasn't so good for it to come out. But then other times I'll be in an interview, and remember, this is a long time ago, and I'll be, I don't get it at all. So I don't really know when I'm going to get that feeling of like that strong feeling, and I mean, it's all about love. And when you love someone, and they're not around, forever, I mean, there's going to be pain sometimes. And the pain is something that I said, it's okay to have the pain. I'm not afraid to have the pain, because if I didn't have the pain, that means then I wouldn't love her. You see, I wouldn't love her the way I do. So that's why all of us, know about the pain, because we love who we lost so much. So love and pain go together. They just go together. Yeah. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
You should show them some of Amelia's pictures. No. Just walk around with him. You guys want to see some of her pictures?
Sure.
I'd love.
Sure.
No, just show them. Don't
Kelly, I sent you the number if you want to call in, Kelly Finelli.
Oh, yes, Kelly. Okay.
She lost a son, and then she just recently lost her husband.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Where is Kelly from?
I think she's going to call in. I just sent her the number. She's in New York. She lives in New York.
Oh, okay. Not too far from where I am.
Oh, there's the pictures.
Wait, around so I can.
Hard to see.
Beautiful.
Let's see. That's what
she's adorable.
She took this on her 11th birthday. That was her last birthday that we celebrated.
That's when you guys had a flat tire coming back from Michigan.
We were on our way home. We were on our way home from Michigan, and we got a flat tire. We were coming home to celebrate, and we got a flat tire. So then that delayed our trip home for 2 to 3 hours, and it was Memorial Day weekend, and she just wanted to get home and celebrate. And
I don't know
she
what they can see.
took that selfie in the back of my car.
Pretty.
Just show my glasses, Mom.
She's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's adorable. Really adorable.
I will tell you too that everybody's been afraid of COVID, but Amelia, she passed away from what we think it was the flu, and that was the year when it got really bad, and a lot of kids actually passed away from it. You want to let some in?
Really?
Yeah, it ended up attacking her heart and passing away.
Oh boy.
And COVID, I'm always leery of the flu every year because I don't want one of my other children to pass away from it, Then this COVID has just really put me on edge, and Jack actually ended up getting COVID. So then I was like, and that was just We just got out of quarantine last week, but he's okay. He just,
Oh,
my,
honey.
I was
Wow.
just inside, letting anybody else see it on the outside. I was like, oh yeah, it's okay. He's going to be fine, you know, but I'm thinking, oh, got him fine and her. But
That's the thing with her. She always, will never say anything. And I'm thinking, come on, because I knew she had to be terrified.
yeah.
But she never lets any of it out.
Carolyn, there's a Lori Beth wants to know if anybody wants to talk about feelings after suicide. Any chat about that?
You can talk about whatever you want. If you want to come up and talk, Lori Beth, you're welcome to. You have the number right in the grief group. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Kelly. Hi.
Thank
Kelly.
you all for sharing your stories, and it's so sad that how I know some of them, Rosemary and Sandy, that we know them like we know your families, and
Really?
and it's just and it's heartbreaking because I feel like Shanann was like a friend of mine. I should be so neat, but I want to say and I too love my Italian heritage. My mother was from Calabria, and I married an Italian man who recently passed away. But I lost a son 9 years ago in 2010. It'll be 10 years in February, and my husband was the one that got me through every holiday, every first, every second, every bad night I had, and he was young, and he was killed in a car accident. It's funny because people asked me, was he drinking? And the irony was the other person was drinking, and that was driving the other car. And it's like, well, would it really matter? I don't know.
I know.
Get me mad, but but my husband just recently passed away, and I get and like Carolyn had said, like all these feelings and the stages of grief come in all different, order. And because for the first, he passed away on the 15th of June. For the first 2 months, I was numb. I felt nothing. I was just going through the motions. And, I kind of want that back because, I'm feeling way too much. And I have a daughter, a 25-year-old daughter. And she said, Mom, he's going to send you signs. What happened to all the faith you had? I said, it's there, Katie. it wavers. And so now I was talking to him because I got him next to my bed in his urn, and it's got a fisherman on it. And, that was one of his big hobbies. And I'm talking to him, and I said, you can't even let me know you're here, or, I don't know. So I walked outside, and I went and I sat down on the bench, and I didn't hit anything on my phone, at least on purpose. And all of a sudden, our wedding song came on. I guess it was Dora or something.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. I said, I know I hit it. It had to be by mistake. And I very rarely hear that song. And because it's hard for me to listen to music anyway. So I really got such a strong feeling of love. And I know that my son was I could picture him with his arm around his dad saying, we need to help her, and those moments to me, I just, and then, I'll cry because they give me comfort, but they're sad too, but, I'll take that, that's where my faith gets, a little bit restored. I always had a lot of faith, a lot of, spirituality, a lot of that stuff. And, I was a church goer. I stopped doing that, and I can't, it was one of Carolyn's, she was doing shortly, really after her son passed. She was doing a haul from, I don't remember where it was, because she's all over the place, our girl. And and I'm watching it, and I'm looking at it, and she's like, upbeat, and whether you were just doing that for I don't know, act as if you feel okay or whatever. And I thought to myself, you know what, Kelly, you should be ashamed of yourself. You sit on the couch with the lounger and your feet up and, and she's going around doing all this to show us all these crafts that she got or whatever it is. And I got to tell you, it really, that kind of stuff inspires me. It inspires me when I see any of you ladies, all of you, come on and talk about the losses that just can't, I felt like somebody took my heart and ripped it out twice and stomped on it. And then I felt like something was going to happen to my daughter, because we had to go through that with her. And Katie's a lot younger than her brother was because I had him very young and Katie was maybe 13 or 14. And so, but I have that fear that, oh my God, what if something happens to her? My daughter now she works in Manhattan. She's living in Brooklyn. And I don't know. I worry. And, she says, well, if the phone doesn't ring, you really don't have to worry. And I'm like, oh, but I do. So, but she's going to come over for Christmas. And I said, I'm not decorating. And she said, I didn't expect you to. She said, you have to excuse my language. She goes, because you turned into an old guinea like grandma. I'm like, well, she said, Ma, just no black. I said, all right. I won't wear black. So she's going to come and I wanted her to come Christmas Eve and stay overnight. And, so I got her, stocking and some stuff, but it's really hard. But to know that there's other people that have done so much, and it amazes me, Rosemary, what you have done and the things that you have accomplished in the years since your daughter. And I just and Sandy is just a power of example in herself, how to just really she doesn't, if it doesn't apply, she lets it fly. And she knows the real deal, and she knows what kind of a person her daughter was. And
Amen.
and that's really all that matters. And so did all of we that watched her all the time. It was just like I was in her home, and so I give a lot of credit for that. So I hope to get stronger and be like you ladies. And maybe I'll do hauls like Carolyn does. I'm not crafty at all,
Maybe you'll do what?
Shopping, because I go shopping and then I show what I got. So, and so, yeah, so she said maybe she'll go shopping and do that.
Get such joy out of it. And I'm sitting there like crying and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, look at what she did. Like she went out to the store, like got things and came back and showed every little thing. And like, oh my God, I really, and meanwhile I'm sitting around like this, hair up in the baseball cap, and
it looks good. The baseball cap looks good. I like it.
Thank you.
I think you look cool. You know what? What is your job? What do you do?
I just retired.
So what did you do before?
I did construction estimating for commercial construction.
Wow.
I worked in a man's world. Yeah, I did.
And then Candy, where do you live in New York City?
Oh, that's not, no, her daughter lives in New York City.
I know in Brooklyn, but where do you live then? I thought you lived in New York City.
No, my daughter lives in Brooklyn and works in Manhattan. I live in Rockland County.
So you're very close to me, Candy.
No, that's not Candy, it's Kelly.
Yeah,
it's confusing because her name is Kelly.
What's your name, Kelly?
Kelly. Yeah.
Okay. I thought at first I heard Candy.
Yeah, Candy was the other. Yes, the other woman in the chat.
Oh, so Candy. Okay, Candy. Hi, Candy. So Kelly, you know what? You live very close to me. I live in northern New Jersey, in Hillsdale.
Oh, you are close to me.
Which town in Rockland County?
Right now I'm in Haverstraw.
Haverstraw?
Yeah.
That's where Joan's body was found, up in the mountains.
Oh my God.
In Haverstraw. Could you believe that? Yeah. So maybe we could get together.
I would love.
Maybe you could come at a time, during the holiday that is good for you.
Okay.
Okay.
I
You
would
better
love.
bring her. You better bring her some cookies.
You got it for me. You got it.
Listen,
Yeah. See,
I can bake.
Sandra knows. See.
Now you're giving me. I can bake. I can bake.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh. Yes.
Now
Oh,
read.
I really will love you if you bring that. Oh my God.
I'll bring the ta-da, and yes, I'll bake. Wow, thank you so much.
You spoke like it makes us understand exactly where you are and how you live. And on your sofa, that you don't just live on your sofa, but you explain yourself very well. You're a very good communicator, honey. You're a very good communicator.
Thank you. See that, Carolyn? I got through the whole thing without a curse word.
Yeah.
Nice, daughters.
Tammy,
Yeah.
how you doing?
You did really good.
I'm doing good.
Good.
When we introduced ourselves, I didn't say I lost Ian in June. And then in December, middle of December, I was rocking my 2-year-old, what would have been in Ian's nursery. And I was just sitting there bawling and bawling and bawling, thinking I should be rocking a 6-month-old, and that night about, 3 a.m, I say it was God. God woke me up and told me to get a legal pad. And I went out in the kitchen, so I wouldn't wake anybody up. And I just started writing and writing and writing how I was going to help other parents, because I had worked in the medical field. My husband's a family doctor, but I had never heard of anybody having an emergency C-section full term and losing the baby. And, instead of bringing a baby home in your arms, you're taking the outfit that was packed in my suitcase to the funeral home. I mean, it was just
Oh my God.
Milk came in and just all the stuff that you're supposed to, be experiencing with a newborn. So, it was probably 4 or 5 pages. I mean, just writing. And it's been 24 years and I cannot find that legal pad. I will, somebody will find it someday. But I called the hospital where I worked the next day and said, well, up east, like Buffalo, my ex-sister-in-law had sent me a sweatshirt that said, Walk to Remember. And so other places were doing it, but not here in Houston, where October 15th for infant and pregnancy loss, you'd have a big walk, and anybody that had miscarriage or
we have it here
childhood.
as kids' death in the family. We have it at Maria Ferrara at Westchester Medical Center. Yeah. Oh, I should have it there.
Yes. Well, back 26 years ago, they said, or 24 years ago, I met them at the hospital that next day, and they said we would love to. So me and a friend that had met at church, and she had conjoined twins that she had lost that same year, started Walk to Remember. And then I met with the hospital to see if we could start a support group. So my friend Tamara, and I'm a Tamara as well, ran We Care for 16 years for grandparents and parents that had early childhood to pregnancy loss. And she was just on, I don't know if anybody's heard of it, Sarah's Hope and Abraham's Promise. They're on Facebook, and they talk about adoption and infertility. Huh?
Yes, I've heard of Sarah's Hope. Somebody was telling me about that. A girlfriend of mine was telling me.
Every Monday night on Facebook, and I did it about probably about a month ago, telling my story about Ian, and my friend was on this past Monday talking about her conjoined twins, and then you pray the rosary afterwards. So it's just awesome.
See, those are the things listening to you, you're even getting up and writing, and the way you were saying, it's like you could be writing anything, because you're not going to mail it to anybody. You're not going to, that's therapeutic right there. And then you started something to help other people that in turn helps you and your friend. And, and that's just like, oh God, I got to be more like you guys. I really do. I got to get it together here. Because that's really, that's amazing in itself, what you started. And you continue. It's just really
You can just start just the littlest bit. Even your daughter's birthday or your husband's birthday, you go out and you buy the coffee in front of you in their memory, and then say you buy a gift, and then you go and donate it to Women's Crisis Center. I do that every year on Ian's birthday. So
Something I would do too, for Amelia's honor, when she passed away and we had her services, we, asked for if anybody was going to, do donations, to make it, to the Hobart Humane Society, here where we live. And, we ended up raising, I don't want to say raising, but they donated over
over
$3,500 or something that the Humane Society here got for her. And then I started,
because she loved animals.
Yeah, she wanted to be a farmer when she grew up. And we have a rescue farm here in our town, and she takes in all kinds of animals that are going off to slaughter, and pigs and everything. She takes all these unwanted farm animals and she brings them to her farm, and she takes care of them and lets them live out the rest of their days, which for a lot of them isn't very long because they've just been so tortured and just so mistreated. But and she goes off donations, so I started every May in our clinic. We would have Bump's bake sale because her nickname was Bump. And the first year that we did it, right after she passed away, I made $1,500 just off of selling cakes and cookies. My friends were baking stuff, and I was able to give that farm $1,500 in Amelia's honor. And I felt so happy. I knew she was
awesome.
Bonnie, where do you live again? Where do you live?
I'm in Indiana, just outside of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what if somebody else wanted to donate to that? Do you still do this every, is it
Well, I couldn't do it this year, obviously, because of COVID.
Oh, right.
So we were shut down for a little while, but I do plan on doing it again next May, as long as everything's up and running again, normal.
I was so worried about the cookie. I baked a bunch of cookies.
Here she goes. But will you give her the link or whatever, so because we're on here all the time chatting away. So if people want to donate.
Oh yeah, I know Erin. It's Erin's farm. I know she has a Facebook page, and I know she has a link and stuff because she asks for donations quite a bit because she's always rescuing animals. So I can get that to Carolyn.
All right, so Erin, ERIN.
Hi. Scooter knows how to drop the link, so she can hopefully drop the link. Hi.
You're a speaker this year, right?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome.
And she's been doing it all on e-learning.
Oh
Yeah.
But I was going to say, with her bake sale that she had at her husband's clinic, he's a chiropractor. Anyway, she was telling me every day, oh, this is how much people brought this in today and sold it, and blah, 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 blah. She's naming all these things.
Great. That's great.
That's good. I used mixes,
really great.
I use cake mixes. You can make cookies out of those.
Oh, yeah.
Now I made like red velvet with the white chocolate chips.
She thought she was so fancy.
No, I did not. I was
I don't know if I believe that. Come on.
so pretty.
I hope it wasn't like your decoupage, Scooter, because that was.
It's really that's bad.
They all sold.
They all sold. But because I thought she was going to say, well, we only have yours left, Mom. Nobody wanted them.
got that laugh at some stages. I swear to God, really. You have all made me feel so much better, you know. And right before my husband passed, the night before he died, he wanted. I said, "What do you want for dinner?" It was, it was early in the morning. He said, "I really feel like having steak." I said, "Well, if it's not in the freezer, I'm not going out to get it." But I could tell he was really nice. He had COPD, the end stages, and he had the what is it, heart
Congestive heart failure? Was it?
Congestive heart failure, and he had problems with his kidneys. He was just, but he was really. Man, if he had a cold, he would tell you it was excruciating or whatever. But he didn't complain at all through these last few days. And this night, I made him the steak, and I made him asparagus, and I made him the noodles Alfredo, and he, like, I could tell he wanted to say it's not rare enough, but he didn't. And he sat, you can tell the so he ate, and I said, "Joey," I said, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" He said, "No, I was just thinking about how, I wish Bobby had gone into aviation like I did, like out of the blue, talking about my son, because Joey was a pilot, and but he was a charter pilot. And he said, "I wish he did." I said, "That wouldn't have stopped you. Still going to be driving a car, and that's it." And Scooter will like this, because the last thing I did for my husband, he called me from the bathroom. He called me by my name, which he never does. It's always a nickname. He's like, "Kelly, come in here." And I'm like, "Oh God, what happened?" And he said, "My hands don't work." He said, "I need you to pull up my underwear." So I said, Scooter would laugh at that. So I said, "All right, can you stand up?" So I did. And then so I got him back in bed, and I didn't hear anything, nothing. I got up the next morning. Normally he was up before me, but I remember him saying, "I wish Bobby went into aviation," like, push him. And, but it just was strange. And I didn't hear a thing. And the coroner said, he said, "What time did he go to sleep?" I said it was around 12:30. Because I said to him, "Joe, it's 12:30. You want to go to, you need to get some rest." And he said, "No, I want to just sit here with you for 5 more minutes." And I said, "All right." And that was it. And then I got up and I had a cup of coffee. I'm sitting at the table, and I'm like, wait a minute. I just got a feeling in my stomach, and and you call 911. They're telling you, get him on his back, and I couldn't get him I couldn't pull him, and I was late. Well, I'm 60 now, but way back, and I couldn't. I mean, he was literal dead weight, but I felt his feet were cold, but his feet were always cold. He always had the air going. In the dead of winter, he'd have the air going. And I could not pull him, I couldn't get him to. It was really, and I'm like, "You gotta give me another way to do this." And I'm sure I don't know what I even, but slapping him and whatever. But the fact that he was just thinking about, and it's not that he never thinks about his son, he does, but I don't know why that came into his head. And then I heard him talk to his dad. I was in the kitchen and he was in the living room, and I heard him say, "Don't worry about it, Pop. I'll take care of it." And I walked back in the room, and I'm like, "What?" Like he knew.
Oh.
He knew. And I said, "Do you want to go to the emergency room?" And nobody, if I took him to the emergency room, they wouldn't have let me in. They would have kept him. And that, and I'm always gonna think, "Oh God, maybe I should have, but I didn't." He said, "No, I just want to stay here with you. I won't go." And that was that. And I just, that made me, I don't know what made me think of that, but I think people meet up in heaven. I think people just meet up in heaven, and all your loved ones are there waiting for you. Like we say about my mother and my aunts and uncles, that they're setting the table for us. They're all setting the table for us. And, I just didn't want him to go so soon. He was only 57. It was, Yeah, so Scooter, that was the last thing I did for him.
At least you got a good sense of humor about it. Would he think that's funny too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
He's been waiting for me to tell that. Which I have told it already. Not the first thing. It's not too much.
Love it.
But I'm gonna sign off, and I just want to thank you all. Rosemary, thank you so much for your kind words, and I will definitely. Carolyn has all my information. I would be honored to come, and I would be honored to bake you cookies.
And we could listen to more stories and laugh and be silly.
Yes.
And then you could put your your head on my shoulder.
Then I'll cry.
And then my shirt will get wet. So who cares?
Well, aw. You're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly. Bye, honey. Bye.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night, Kelly.
Love you all. I
God
do.
bless you, sweetheart.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Kelly.
All right.
It was really good, Carolyn. We didn't have to mute her.
Right.
Help people.
Oh gosh.
You could tell me.
I can't type it in.
What is it? Oh, I put. What is it, John? You need a link.
Yeah, John was trying to put into the website.
Oh, I put your YouTube link. I can put the website. Yeah.
The website.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to talk about the CAP program. And the CAP program.
Okay. Is he going to come on by you?
And the ringtone. Yeah.
Okay.
So he said he was trying, but he couldn't get onto chat.
All right. I'll put the link in for the website, and I put the link in for the YouTube channel.
I'm on the chat.
Right,
oh, so then could you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, he said now he could do it.
Okay.
Is Jackie on? Jackie Olivetti?
You know what I can do, John? If you go into the chat, I can make you a moderator for tonight, so you can drop the link, any links you want in there. If you just type up something, I can see your name, and then I can.
Is Ernie on? Carolyn, Ernie?
Ernie, are you here in the chat?
No?
I don't know. There's almost 400 people in the chat, so I don't know. He might
too many people, yeah.
He might be.
I'm just wondering if Ernie is there, because remember he spoke the other time.
Oh, yeah, right.
So now, John, you're talking now, John?
Oh, Jacqueline is here. Jacqueline?
Jackie?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay. Hi, Jackie.
Okay,
She's
John, I'll make you a moderator.
She's one of my friends.
Okay. And come on. Okay, John, I think, yeah, you should be able to drop any links now, John. Hopefully it should pick up that. Make sure that. It takes a minute to update this. Let me see. Yeah, yep. Okay. Good. And so, I mean, I think it's helped. I can tell you that this year for me, beyond it being the first year, being such a crazy year with the virus, right? And people not being able to get together for other reasons, I think in a way that's helped me. Just because everybody's sharing some kind of grief, even if it's not grief. It's sadness that they can't get together with people in their family. You know what I mean? So I think everybody as a nation is going through some type of upheaval, like with Thanksgiving. And I think it would probably have been a lot worse if everybody was just, going out having a great time. You know what I'm saying? It just it seemed like there's a little bit of damper on everyone's holidays, even if there's nothing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think that kind of helped because everybody was feeling a little something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I just, like there weren't
Yeah,
so
but
many celebrations
Caroline,
and things
it's
that,
very different. It's very different.
yeah, I know that, but like, if everything was normal and then there would be all these things at the school and all these other things you'd have to go to and maybe not feel up to it. So it was kind of that there weren't so many things I had to
Okay.
go to or be present
Okay.
at, or,
I got
you know what I'm saying? So it was
I
like,
got it.
yeah, there
Yeah.
wasn't so much to
Yeah.
have to try to go through and act normal and
Uh-huh.
that's
And
what I
act
mean.
normal. Act
Yeah,
normal.
that's what I mean.
Like for your kids in school.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Like,
There weren't
okay,
so
good.
many things. Like there weren't like the Christmas holiday workshop that there usually is. There wasn't. That was canceled, and so much stuff was canceled. And they don't have the concerts that they used to have, and they didn't have the sports that they used to have. So you didn't have to be among a lot of people that are all really, really happy and really, really upbeat, and everybody's rushing around. So there's kind of a damper on everything, and things were canceled. And I think in a way that made it easier as you navigate, as I navigate through the first year there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very. I could understand so much for you. And that was, that was a good thing. That was a good thing.
Right. Bonnie, we can't hear you, Bonnie. I don't know if you're on mute.
Am I muted?
Oh, now I can hear you. I couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think that in a way that's kind of a good thing for you, especially being just so, new and fresh to your grief, because I know, even if people that know you, if you're out and about and they see you, like they could be smiling and happy, and then, before they see you, and then they see you and they're just like, oh,
right.
Because I still, years later, it's like, people will be happy, to see me, but then they're still just like, oh, they're like handling me, like I'm still like so fragile, and and I just want to say to them, okay, you can treat me normal, like I understand what happened, and like
right.
but it's like afraid, so I think it is kind of lucky you didn't have to be around all those people, because they would they would see you and they would just kind of be like, oh,
right, yeah.
And then
Out in the grocery store, remember?
well, and then it just brings you right back into your grief, because like you're trying to be present in the moment for whatever it is you have going on for your child, or whatever it is you're trying to do in that moment. And they have good intentions, but it does just take you right back into your feelings of sadness that you're trying to maybe just push off for a little bit, and
Bonnie, that's a very hard thing that we all go through. And, it's like they're thinking, I remember 5 months after Joan was raped and murdered at 7 years old.
mm-hmm.
And it was so painful. The first 3 months, I could not listen to the radio. But remember, I had the little 8.5-year-old, 9.5-year-old that, you wanted them to be children, and not seeing a mother crying and all sad. So that's what was a good thing that gave me like that, joy of raising them.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember my neighbor, and the man was an FBI agent. In fact, he was the one that, so Joan was like, it was like she was murdered twice. First, she was beaten and her head was like, her feet were grasped, and he just took her head and slammed it on the tile floor. And then everything broke. And then after that, she was still moving, and he strangled her. So here it was. I did not want to identify. I wanted to remember Joan alive with that little turquoise top, and it was the best decision I ever made. So my neighbor, an FBI agent, is the one that said, okay, he identified her and said, that's Joan. So I remember that his wife, after 5 months, I'm just talking to her about my feelings and how sad I was. And you know what she said to me, Bonnie?
What?
She said to me, oh, you're still not over it? Oh my God.
No.
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, when a child gets murdered like this, it's you know, it's like you get a dagger going through you, you know, because it's violent.
Mhm.
And here it was, another dagger went through me.
Right. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Ugh.
And then I just had to, like, you know, put a brave face on, like you do, Bonnie. You know, put a brave face on, even though you know you're really like in pain, but you putting a brave face on because you have the two little children, you know,
Mhm.
and then you want to be strong for Joan, who suffered so much. I mean,
Right.
I still had my life.
Mhm.
She didn't have a life. She lost it, right? 7 years old. And in a way that was beyond. There's a book called Killer Across the Table. The first 9 chapters are about her story, and I personalize it. And it's by the famous criminal profiler John Douglas and Mark Olshaker, who's also, he was like the ghostwriter, and he writes subjects like that, but he also writes subjects on infectious diseases, like with like say COVID and so forth. But you know, these are the people that did this book, so you could see a lot more there. But oh, so what it gave me, I always was for social justice, always enjoyed being around people, but it gave me even more compassion, more empathy, because I knew such pain. You see, so I would say there must be almost 100 people that have come to me in the 27 years that I started the movement, and that was in '93, you know, and sometimes I just listen to them. Sometimes we just laugh. Sometimes because I've gotten lost through, and I just take them through the steps because they want to get a law. And maybe some of you want to do that, you see? So if you do, you go on the webinar, jonesjoy.org, and there's a whole resource section. And in one of the sections, it tells you the steps to do a law, to make a law. And then you could always contact me, like for tips, you know, because I found out that you have to deal with the media a lot. You do it on a respectful level. They're very, very important. And also that you have to get a good, between you and the sponsor has to be a good legislative aid that you work with on the phone. I found that out in all the 5 laws that I've gotten through. And now we're working on another law.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, you know, Bonnie, you know, it's good that you talk about that. So this way, I mean, I could feel for that so much. Okay. I could feel for it so much. And it's wrong. You know, it's wrong. It's wrong. That's insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's very insensitive. It's almost like being fresh. And you don't need to be doing that. You know what I mean? I mean, you need to be a little bit more learning about kindness. So
Right.
one of the things we do with the Jones Joy Foundation is we're just starting a school program. And the school program is called the Mindful Relaxation and Kindness Program. And it's teaching kids about kindness, about values, about how to get along with each other, and also relaxation parts. So that you have it like the teacher is trained to do it 10 minutes every day in school. And this, I tell you, we donate it. And if anybody like wants to have it in their school system and check it out, like with the superintendent and all, you know, come to us and we'll help you to get that into your school system, because they learn about that kindness. I don't think that in the years to come, they come across a Bonnie or a Rosemary or a Carolyn or a Sandra or a Kelly or a Tammy and all the others that are out there, you know, that are telling us your stories or in the chat room, you know, they're going to know they're going to be learning about this like during like 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, during that time when character and kindness, can be part of them if they learn these good things in school, and they're expected to act that way. So I'm just saying that, there's this, that's why it's good that we buddy up together. And what Carolyn is doing, amazing. But we buddy up together. So this way we don't make each other's pain be worse. You want it to be, my battery's getting low.
Oh yeah, is that way? Okay.
Getting low. And, you want it, you want to bloom, you want to have joy, you want your child to live in different ways. And you can't be knocked down by that pain. Because I remember, I who knows, it must have taken me a long time to get over that. So, I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
And it was private. I didn't go and, and I don't even think anybody would have listened, even if I said it, by myself with it. But I wasn't by myself because of my belief that first of all, there's your baby with you, but that's a little different still. But there's God trying to help you. And with me, like I believe in the saints, the Blessed Mother. So, there's all that good stuff like that, or whatever way you believe to get your strength, So I just share it. But the thing is closing. I have to
wait, Rosemary, we have a question about that program. So My Crazy Life says, is that going to be available remotely, that program, or is that only?
Yes,
remotely. It is? Okay, remotely, yes.
Yes. Yeah, so you can have it remotely, and you'll have someone train the teachers. And then when they train the teachers, the teachers will get a lesson plan every month. And they will be able to implement this whole plan, and the lesson plan will be different each month in their classroom for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And it usually would start at the beginning of the class.
Okay, and they can get more information on your website, right?
Yeah, well, they could get it on the website or jonesjoy.org.
Yeah.
And then, but the only thing is, everybody, I want to see this in so many places, but we need more donations. Because our foundation is small, it's not big.
Right.
It doesn't have a lot of money.
And you weren't able to do a lot of the things that you normally
do
because of the virus, like that big garage sale you normally have. Yeah. And we had planned to come down for that garage sale, and then a bunch of us that live near you, and then that
we need even more than that.
I know.
We need more because our foundation, for us, a big deal is when we make, and we work a lot, to do it months and months with a lot of people. If we make $16,000, oh my God, you think, we're all excited because we made so much money. But still, the program is, we pay the person doing it. With Zoom, it's a little less money, $100 a month. So it's 9 months, that's $900 for one school. Now, when it's going to be actual, when we don't do it on Zoom, it'll be $150 because then they'll have to go, they'll have to do more. But right now it's $100. So that's $900 a year for the 9 months. But believe me, don't stop. Don't stop. If you really could see that you have a yes for your school system, we'll work something out. Yeah.
Very nice.
People have to be kinder. They have to learn more kindness.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, Marie, Carolyn knows this. When Amelia passed away, my son was a sophomore and my daughter was a freshman. And with my son, it really compelled him to want to try to help his peers and stuff, and then him and my daughter both, they came up with the idea to start a student student grief support group at their high school. We've never had anything like that here, in our school system. So they worked with the superintendent and the guidance counselors at the high school, and they got it started his junior year. So they meet every 2 weeks. He graduated last year, but Maddie has kept it up now. But they meet every 2 weeks, even through quarantine. They've been able to meet at the high school, and they named it When There's a Bump in the Road. And they've been able to help some other students who have either lost siblings or lost a parent or lost a good friend, because we've actually ended up having Amelia passed away 2017, and then in 2000 then it was just last year, a student in my daughter's class committed suicide. And then just in January of this year, a girl in Jack's class died kind of the same way as Amelia did, died of some illness that they're not exactly sure what happened to her. She was like Amelia. She was sick for a couple of days and then just died on the third day. It was just like that, but Jack and Maddie, through their loss, they thought of other people and wanted to help other kids. And so that grief support group is still going, and they're helping other kids. And I'm just super proud of them for doing that.
Is it going to be like a trailblazing type of program that could be used in other counties in your state?
Well, it could be if other students, in other schools were wanting to do it, the guidance counselor, she's also the mental health counselor at their high school. She's been very helpful with it and a huge advocate for it. And
Are they able to get it out in through other ways, so other schools could know about this program? Yeah, because it could travel.
Yeah, it could. I didn't really think.
Yeah, and also I'm just going to move because I don't want the battery to go dead.
Oh, okay.
Also, I'm just thinking now her. Yeah, I know. It's over here.
Plug in where you were.
So, I didn't know that. So anyway, was it called that because that was her nickname?
Yeah, her nickname was Bum.
I think that's great.
And actually, my says that our daughter, that Amelia, told him that because we were all brainstorming and just trying to think of some different names, and it just swam. So he says, I think Amelia told me that. I think she whispered that in my ear.
We're going over.
Yelling it.
Yeah, true.
So we have a message from Peggy who said she lost her son Alex to suicide in 2008. And she said when that happened, she really didn't want to live. I was a walking dead person. Anyway, I watch you a lot. Tonight is good. I feel all of you. Love, Peggy.
Aww. Yeah, suicide.
Yeah.
Can Bonnie read a poem that she has?
Sure.
Mark and I got this little poem from, he actually has an aunt, and she lost a son when he was 6 years old. He was actually one of the first cases to die from that rise syndrome when you give aspirin.
With the Tylenol? Is that with the Tylenol? Yeah.
I think aspirin.
Oh, it was aspirin. That's what I mean. The Tylenol was another one. was the tainted Tylenol, yeah.
And he was one of the first kids to die from that. And so when Amelia passed away, she just sent us this poem. And it's just called Parents of a Saint. And it says, a little bit of heaven came to both of you one day. Then soon this little breath of God was suddenly snatched away. The joy you built within your hearts has now turned into grief. You feel that nothing found in life could ever bring relief. Nay, parents, if you'll meditate, you'll find it otherwise. The grief you have is really but a blessing in disguise. The waters of eternal life have freed your babe of taint. 'Twas meant by God that you should be the parents of a saint.
Mm-hmm.
But by and I read that, from time to time because I just, it brings me comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie, could we get a copy of that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I sent it to Carolyn.
Yeah, you
email
can put
to-
it in Slack and then, or you can email it to Rosemary. I can email
Okay.
it to her.
Carolyn, the
Mhm.
person that just spoke about the suicide, what's her name?
Peggy.
Peggy?
Yeah.
Oh, Peggy, do you want to talk about your child?
I think she was in the chat. I don't think she wants to call in, but she just wanted to let us know that this has made a difference for her. So, but Peggy, you're welcome to call in if you wanted to, but I don't know. If she
We're
wants
thinking of you, Peggy.
Peggy, I'm so sorry. So sorry.
God bless you, Peggy, and your family.
Yes.
And so and I haven't been keeping up with the chat, so I don't know if anybody had any. I think everybody found, no matter what kind of grief they're going through. I know Snow Remover lost a brother recently, and so many people have had losses, you know. With Marcy Lynn had her sister's suicide. She said, "I don't think I have grieved over my sister's suicide. No time. Others needed me to be strong, so I get the pleasure of falling apart later down the road. Right now, I just got to do what I've got to do." And Scottish Queen says she lost her parents 8 weeks apart over Christmas in 2010, and they were the last members of the close family to die. I miss Christmas. I have to visit cemeteries to see all my family. And let's see. Wake Up lost 2 grandchildren 6 years apart. Brandon was 6 and collapsed after being sick for 3 days prior. And Bailey was 4 after a long battle, died from neuroblastoma, which is cancer. Yeah, it's terrible. My daughter is strong. Wow, Wake Up. Sorry to hear that.
Is that Wake Up?
Yeah.
That's Wake Up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see.
Wake Up. Sorry.
Okay, let's see what else we have here. Is there somewhere I can look into what your school is like? I'd like to see more. I like the idea. Mello, you're talking about the program? Go to jonesjoy.org, or you can email Rosemary or email the you have your email on the website, right? That they can email John? Yeah. Just, check it out. John's dropping the link for that. Let's see here.
You know what I'm thinking? It seems to me that all of us could unite together tonight, even though we can't join our hands, and just, say whatever prayer or thought or word comes into our hearts. But we could join together, like with the same hearts, to help each other. And it's like we could do it quietly, or we could all do it, and that is almost like the gift of tongues, that you don't really understand, but yet we do understand with our hearts what we're saying. I'm just bringing that up as an idea, Carolyn, because all these other people that are there and they're listening, and, they're going through their own pain, and a lot of them, maybe not everybody, but others have other kinds of situations. And then even like you were bringing up with COVID, they're not having their families together, and sometimes it's just 2 people, and meanwhile they had 30 people together at Christmas. But something like that. And then also I want to share that on Sundays, the first Sunday and the third Sunday of every month, we have a prayer and spirituality group. And it doesn't matter if you have religion or don't have religion. I mean, it's a way to get into, inside yourself and your feelings and what you're about with your heart. And so that is at 4 o'clock. And I'm in Hillsdale, New Jersey. That's Eastern Standard Time. And I know Carolyn came twice. And it was interesting
Yeah.
She came twice, and the last time she came, the week after that, her boy had died.
Right.
Imagine that.
And I was worried about my friend then, how to get through that, because it was coming upon the anniversary of losing her
Exactly.
husband and son. And then the next few days, right, my son passed away.
It was you. It was you.
Yeah.
And so just saying, you're welcome to join in. And
Yeah, it's a very good. Yeah, I will be back. It's just been hard for me to get back to. I almost came the other week, and you do it twice a week now, right? Do you announce it on the Facebook?
Twice a month.
Twice a month. I mean, that's what I meant.
First and third.
Twice a month.
Okay, so it doesn't become like, oh, I got to do this every Sunday.
Right.
And Jackie always comes. Jackie, who's on now, listening, she's always there. So just to say, you're welcome to come with that. Or at least know it's open. You could even come once a year, whatever. But that's there. But that's not on the website. Okay, that's
on the Facebook page. Do you know?
Yeah.
Or they can message you on Facebook if they want to come.
Yeah,
maybe.
you can message on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, if someone's interested.
Well, I don't know if, like, before we go and say goodnight tonight, if you want to, join hands, like, through our spirit, our energy, and say goodnight to each other.
Sure.
And God and blessings, and if you believe in God, whoever you believe in. And this way we're united, even with those others that we can't see tonight,
Right, sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to say something, Rosemary? Do you want to?
No.
You don't want to say a prayer or anything?
Do I want to say a prayer? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to start now? Or you want me to start, Carol? I thought because you were the leader.
Yeah, I mean, you're good at doing this for your group, so.
So are you good at doing it? Okay. Okay. So everybody that's here, okay, if you wish, join hands. And you could join hands by keeping them down, putting them up like this, so this way, like we're joining hands. And just feel that you're connected. You're connected we're all connected together tonight. Feel the connection. Feel that there's care here for each other, and there's kindness, and there's prayers, and there's hope, and there's peace, and there's love, and there's joy together. And if you're feeling pain, which you might be feeling pain out before you go to bed, it's okay to have that pain because you love the person that you're thinking of. And that person is there with you even if you don't feel that person. They really are. Because the spirit is really the major part of the person. Because we're so used to on earth, seeing ourselves this way. And I just think we should embrace each other and hug each other as a big group of 400 people here tonight. And it wouldn't be this way. We wouldn't have this group if it wasn't for Carolyn. Carolyn guiding the group. And Carolyn in grief. In your grief, and using every creative part, which could be an example, to be strong. But it's all right if you're not strong. It's all right. It's all right. You don't have to be like the way I was. I was lucky. I had my faith. And, the other person, Don't compare it that way. Don't ever do that, because you never, never, never want to put yourself down. You're a very worthy person. So just let's all share our loves and say goodnight and wish each other a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, wonderful New Year, and let's never be disconnected, and let's always feel this energy. Okay? So, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Amen.
Thanks for
Good
coming,
night.
everybody.
Thanks,
And
Rosemary.
thanks to
Bye,
everybody in
honey.
the chat.
Bye.
And
Bye,
I'll probably
Tammy.
be on later with something else. But bye. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Tammy.
Sandy, thank you
Scooter.
so much.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, everyone. God bless
Okay,
everybody.
God bless you guys. Merry
Bye.
Christmas and everything.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Dummy.